views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCNTV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCNTV Network claims no rights to said content. TCNTV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCNTV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
Convict shots.
Hello, no con. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Here to Help You. It's our end of the year show.
Greetings and greetings.
Move out the way so they can see the 20 now.
Listen.
20.
Really?
Okay. I'm excited.
I've noticed.
We're drinking rum and Red Bull. Minus the Red Bull.
Maybe you are, but I know what I have in my
What are you drinking?
Dark liqueur.
Let me smell it.
No, you cannot. Come on. Focus.
Guys, welcome. So, you know what, Dave? We have been on a journey.
Yes, I agree.
We are doing a decade end special because we are the only remaining original show.
Yes, we are.
We are the first. We were the first show.
Were we?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll take that.
We were the first show and the original.
Yes.
We are the originals.
From the studio, yes.
And you guys are going to see...
The boom mic coming down in your face like this.
Yes, you guys are going to see it all today.
I used to sit in your position right there, Selena.
Doing what?
Do you remember?
Oh, that's right. He has to do all the sound and everything. It's crazy. But we've been on a ride.
Yes, we have.
It's been kind of cool. So today, for the end of the year, get your rum, get your drinks, get your wine. It's time to celebrate. We're going to take you through a little bit of history with Here to Help You. Let's start with the first video.
Yes.
So this is going to be a treat for our production manager. Big up yourself, Salina. Big up yourself. So we're going to take Selena back in the days a little bit. So when we first began.
We should, yes.
Let's start with our first video.
First one, yes. How you mean?
Yeah. You know, she was 17 years old when she got married.
And had 15
children. Right? Go to the last picture. Okay, so this is one off the royal website. And you've noticed here regarding her features.
Yeah, man.
Right? Clearly Anglo-Saxon in this case, as opposed to the other ones. Where you see, of course, a little bit more, of course, the Afrocoid features in her, right? So this was something, in fact, that she was going to at that point in time. Being the first queen of African descent, right? Who's on a European throne. Or in this, the English throne. Right, and so every painter, every artist who tried to go into the Victor features, as you can see,
she got
eventually
more and more European looking.
There you go.
And why do you think? Because I have another reality check here. That's what it's called. This next guy goes in. We'll read this in the next segment. But, why do you think this woman's not talked about, Dave? Why is Queen Charlotte not spoken of? Why don't we know about her? You have some notes on her. We're gonna go more in turn in a second.
It's interesting because you know what, King George, there was really something really screwed up with him mentally. I mean, of course, he was an ultimate conqueror. He laid waste to Canada was one of his conquering lands at the point in time.
Is this the one who was married to Charlotte?
This is the same one who was married to Charlotte.
Conqueror, 15 kids later.
Right. Australia. I believe it's Austria. Either Austria or Australia was another region which he went ahead and conquered. Really, you know what? Like, she spoke no English, very little English in regards to when she first arrived in England.
Okay.
Right. So I mean,
poor thing.
Yeah, you can understand in regards to, like, even to this day, you look at English and French, and you can see the difference in regards to how pompous they can be. Mm-hmm. So you take it back, of course, you know, that earlier times where, of course, the pompous attitude was just rampant. You know, being, of course, of royal blood, and especially not even just any royal blood, but still of English, British.
I feel bad for her. She just sounded like she was like a breeding horse.
Not show, right? Not nearly as much cleavage as should be happening right now.
Stop it.
But it was happening.
Stop it. It's not about the cleaver. It's about the show.
It was a good show.
It was, wasn't it?
That's when we actually talked about, last week actually on In the Now, we talked about Queen Charlotte being the first real black queen in Buckingham Palace.
You're near
Buckingham Palace. All right, so good show.
It was.
I think you were leading that show. We're talking about the queens.
It was good to go ahead and point out women of color,
yes.
Right? In of course, in this day and age, or African, as we should go ahead and not be afraid of saying, right? And showing their royal positions and showing, of course, their stories, highlighting some of the stories, highlighting some of the difficulties and challenges which they had. And of course, cementing their rightful place in history.
So let's keep moving through our little history lesson.
Go on with it.
And we had a show. On our show, we've had the ability to reach outside of our immediate community. So we actually went to the States and we interviewed a young lady who has a magazine called State versus Us.
Yes.
And they spotlight high criminal profile cases and speak up against corruption in the jail systems, the police departments, and the governments in the United States. Mm-hmm. So they also showcase success stories of individuals who have escaped the streets to success. And they advise our community how to handle encounters with the police and what to do when you get caught up in certain situations.
Which is excellent.
So a little bit of, I guess, an update on them before we show you the video.
Actually, before you do that, let's show the video and then you can come back and
come back with the update?
Yes.
Fine.
Run the tune.
Let's get the video.
Oh, hi. You know when you get stuck and you come and catch you do something, you're just like, you freeze. I just smile.
Yes.
Because I feel it's a distraction.
It probably is.
Welcome back, everybody. We have Miss Tia Hamilton. Miss Tia, are you here still?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all right. So before we left for our little 10-minute break that I said that we were supposed to have, we had just started to learn who Tia is.
Yes.
And now, Tia, I want you to tell us what is happening in Baltimore. Talk to us. What got you motivated to do this project?
Well, I received a phone call from my ex who was currently incarcerated. And he, too, has been sentenced outside of his sentencing guidelines. And he wanted to let the world know about the things that are going on inside the prison system. So I said, okay, well, I can do one better. I can not only, get the information from inmates who doing something. I said, let's add high-profile cases. Let's add wrongfully convicted inmates. Let's add the injustices, not just with people just going regular stories of what's going on with inmates. Let's get down and dirty with it, and let's use the resources that I have with the celebrities and get them involved as well. And let's also input financial literacy, real estate advice, mental illness column, sports, and things like that, because I'm an avid sports fan. So I was actually working on my sports magazine. And when he asked me to do this, I put the sports magazine to the side and decided to go ahead and go full speed ahead with this project.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Why am I saying welcome back for?
Of course, after the clip. That's why.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Right?
The clip. So again, another good show that we had in our old studio. Don't worry, we're going to progress. You're going to see the evolution of Here to Help You. That's when we're at our very, 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 very beginning.
I don't think they're worried. No, it wasn't actually very beginning, but it was another stage of evolution.
Okay, it was a stage.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. That's when we upgraded to TCN. We weren't just Care 101 anymore.
There you go.
So let's give you a little bit of an update on this magazine. So the magazine has been nominated for 2018 and 2019 Titans Award for Magazine of the Year.
All right, that's what's up.
Also for the 2019 Publisher of the Year. State vs. Us, you see that the world is us. Meaning this platform was created to give you, him, her, them, and I a voice. Many stories need to be read. Your story is our story. Their story is your story. Keep them telling them until it's just about us.
That's lovely.
I love it.
Lovely. Big up yourself, my girl.
Yeah, keep doing good things. I'm so proud of you for what you've done so far. I reached out to her this morning as well. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back in contact with her.
For sure.
Talk some more. Maybe even do an update show.
No
contacts. We don't do con. I just tried to reach out to her.
Much better.
All right. When we come back, we're going to look at a few more shows and continue with our evolution of Here to Help You.
No con.
Next, we're going to be talking to two young people from the Jane and Finch area community. Two of our younger guests on the show. And maybe we can do some follow-ups on them as well.
For sure.
We'll see you soon on Here to Help You.
There you go.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
World-famous spiritual astrologer and psychic Pandit Sai is born to serve people. He's an expert on palmistry and horoscope. He can handle all problems and give Vedic solutions for business, job, love, marriage, husband and wife problems, children, personal, and many others, including depression. He also performs pujas to clear all sorts of obstacles. Call Pandit Sai and see changes in your life now. 647-766-1419. Located at 2895 Derry Road, East Mississauga, Airport Road and Derry.
Did you know, welcome back everybody, did you know, because we're actually going to go right into who our next guest is. Did you know that Selena is like one of the main driving forces behind Street Voices?
There you go. Wicked. Big up yourself, my girl.
She's so quiet about it, but she does a lot.
You know, sometimes it's not about the flash. Or not about, of course, you know, the being out in the forefront, right? It's all about just getting it done.
I just told her when she's famous, you better big me up. Better not try to left me behind.
Hold on. Why just you? You see me there as well?
But if I get up, then you get up. Hush.
Okay.
Your guy, like
touch me now.
Guys, right, like you only got a gift because she got a gift from me. It's just how it works out.
That's okay. We both share in the joy, right?
So let's talk about another member of Street Voices.
Yes, Gloria Okoye. I hope I said that right. You know, well, big up yourself anyways, you know. We had her on a few months back. This is when she wrote
longer than a few months. It's been like a year, over a year since
really?
we had her.
Has it?
Yes.
See, the years. No
flying
way.
By. Yes.
No.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
Okay.
All right. So, when she came on, she spoke about her first publication, right? And I hope I'm saying this word properly. Kintsugi. Basically, it's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery.
Yes.
Right? And it was very symbolic because, of course, when you begin to understand this young lady's story,
she calls herself the artist of perfect scars.
There you go. Right? Which I don't have to say anything else.
Perfect.
Run the tune.
Kintsugi. So we look deeper into the meaning and says that Kintsugi is a Japanese art of repairing broken pottery.
Okay.
In a society where we drop your mug, you drop your cup, what's the first thing we do?
Of course, we clean up and throw it out.
Yeah, we deemed it as worthless, broken, trash. And sadly, in our society, we do look at people like that too. Let's face it. You know, it's like it kind of warms, but we do have those little judgments like, oh, this happened to you? Oh, I feel so sorry. I pity you. Right. I wish that never happened. In Japan, when someone's going through tribulations, and even Chinese culture and even Korean culture, like I could say that like proudly, we talk about resilience. We talk about perseverance. In our brokenness, that's where we find our most strength. So even in the book, you see the little, like I guess the soil part. They're actually broken fragments of my shadow reflection.
Okay.
So I pick up the pieces and.
Of course, you end up growing into the wonderful piece that we got here.
Yeah.
For sure. It's amazing. Like I said, of course, when we're able to go ahead now and use different parts of culture, from around the world, right? And of course, related back to ourselves, that are related to an actual society, right? And it's functioning because you know what? Every time somebody gets hurt, or every time somebody experiences a piece of trauma, right, and they do feel broken, right? What do they got to do? They got to go ahead and force to find a philosophy to go ahead and put the pieces back together and become whole. Yeah, Miss Gloria Okoye. Yay. What I liked about the show as well is that what I didn't know before is that she's half Asian and half Nigerian. So if viewers, when you guys actually go back to get a chance to check out the show, during the last segment, she actually speaks, I think it's Chinese, that she actually does some of her poetry too, which is pretty cool. Of course, she's got the same hue color as us, right?
No, she's lighter.
Well, still, you know what I'm trying to say.
But she black.
Oh, yeah. Right, but it was very cool to actually hear that, right? Because we're mostly here the Caribbean. Right?
Yeah.
Apparently, the Ghanaian, of course, the Twi, Nigerians come out, but to hear that come out and so fluently, there's something about her culture, right? Wonderful, definitely wonderful. For those who don't know, she has written another book since called The Hood Chronicles. Of course, by means, support the young lady. Wonderful talent coming out of the city.
Wonderful. And we're going to talk about another strong talent. But before we do, I want to remind you guys at this point, if you haven't, definitely there's a little red button in your YouTube there. Subscribe, like, share.
Please.
MyTCNTV network. Don't forget about that. And also, all the videos that we're showing, we're only showing clips. But if you go into our description on YouTube, you will find links to the whole videos. So definitely, if you're interested in any of the clips that we show, you can go back and watch the entire one. They're all there. Yes. I put them all there for you guys. So
there you go.
Let's talk about another young man who many people in Toronto know. He is our little one. He's been on the show a few times. Mm-hmm. Our now star, Mr. Nathan Baya. So in this episode, I think was his first time. He came back 2 other times.
I'm not sure if this was the first
I can't remember if this was his first one or not. But on this one, he talks about growing up in the community, mental health, relationships. This is the first one.
Okay.
Yes, relationships. And for such a young man, he has such a wealth of knowledge. So I'll let you hear from Mr. Nathan Baya himself.
Hope that a guy would change, but he's not changing. You're just being changed because you're turning more bitter. You're turning more cold. Right. And you're turning the people who love you and treat you properly. You're treating them like crap, but you're treating this man who's destroying you like gold and in God, right? So I've seen a lot of that happening, right? And at the end of the day, it happens really on both sides. And at the end of the day, I go to say that you're supposed to leave, but you don't want to leave because you're invested. But stress kills. And at the end of the day, it kills to see you like this. Because love is healthy. It should bring forth joy, not destruction. Not to say that love never comes with some hard battles or hard moments. But at the end of the day, if throughout your whole relationship, it just brought out the worst in you, that's not the relationship for you, if you ask me. So when it comes to self-love, I just encourage everybody to just, not just view lust as, I think lust is a part of love, but I don't think lust is love. So when you're on that journey of practicing self-love, let go of the pornography, the masturbation, just be by yourself and just learn to love yourself without getting intimate with yourself or intimate with somebody else. 'Cause at the end of the day, when it's just you get a chance to appreciate your mind, your this, your that. Because a lot of us, we view our bodies as sex objects, which is not always the healthiest thing. At the end of the day, your body's more to you than just that. Right? At the end of the day,
temple.
Yeah, it's a temple,
it's
right? So you don't even want to share that temple with just about anybody.
Correct.
And like we said before, sex is a connection of energy, but a lot of us do not know that. Right. So we go around connecting with people that we have no business connecting with and wonder why our lives are so messed up.
So since then, this young man has risen. We were just actually talking when the video was on that when we met this young man, he was at the very beginning of his career. And we were just like, go for it, young man. Push, and he's been pushing, and he's been so supportive of us, and we've been very supportive of him. So far, since then, he's actually founded Jane Street Speaks.
Yes.
Huge platform speaking up and sharing the voices of Jane and Finch, the Jane and Finch community.
Yes.
He was recognized by Absolute Vodka as a change maker in the city. So he's on one of their ads, which is humongous. He was most recently hired as a youth worker at the Black Creek Community Health Center. So that's one of his most recent things.
Yes.
And he also completed a 6-month program and is now a certified healer in the community.
There you go.
So proud of you. I think he's only 22, 23, maybe.
Baby to the world, man.
Baby. Baby to the world. So appreciate him.
Yes. Big up yourself, brother.
Big up yourself, Nathan. We want to have you back on here soon. Now that you're a dad, we'd love to hear the journeys of the dadhood, how that looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we come back, what are we going to be going into? How are we going to evolve even more? So we're going to actually evolve. That was our old studio. Now we're going to bring it to...
Well, not all the clips were old, but I know what you're trying to say.
Guy, all those clips were in the old studio.
No, they were
not.
Was
hers here?
Oh, your
Gloria's
clips.
Was here.
All your clips were in the old studio.
So Dave messed up our order.
See, again, we don't get no memo. Maybe the dog.
Did you read the script?
Maybe the dog.
Did you read the script?
Of course I did.
He didn't read the script.
Read the script.
So in segment 3, we're actually going to talk about returning to Africa, the year of the return.
Yes.
And one of my favorite guests, my elder, Mr. Michael Williams, the Godfather of comedy.
Oh, yes.
We'll talk more about that.
That
was a huge show. We'll talk more about that when we come back on here to help you. See you soon.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
You can't talk about anyone in their license.
What are you talking about?
Welcome back.
Me don't have to drive. So
welcome back to Here to Help You. So I hope you guys have been enjoying our flashbacks of our decade of Here to Help You, even though we're only around for 2.5 years. Doesn't matter. It's part of the decade. Okay. So your show, this one's one of your favorites, Dave. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, considering that 2019 has been the year of the return. You know, the president of Ghana has been reaching out, you know, making his travels into the diaspora and asking, and you know, for their people, for our people, to take the trip back home, right? And in fact, this show we had 2 brothers, one Andre, right, who made his first pilgrimage back home, and Kofi, who was part of the Back to Tours to Africa, right? And of course, they share their experience. So, run the video.
That's better.
So, just before the break, you mentioned that, of course, spots are filling up. How many people, I guess, what's the numbers looking like in regards to per trip?
For the July one?
Yeah, what's the maximum amount of participants or maximum amount of people who can travel on the trip?
Okay, well, right now for the July one, we have approximately 36 people that have confirmed that they're going to be participating in it.
Okay.
So we really want to cut it off at 40.
Okay.
I think 40 is a good number for us to, you know, be able to handle the amount of people that we'll be traveling with. So yeah, 40 is the maximum that we're going to be going with for each tour.
Okay. So now, just before the break, you mentioned about really visiting Ghana, right? What are some of the, I guess, like the excursions? What are some of, of course, part of the itinerary that people will be able to go to enjoy while they're there?
Okay. Well, again, Ghana, see, people don't get it, and I know that it's going to be a real learning experience for a lot of people. Ghana is a country, a very small country that has over 33 million people. Okay? So if you can just try to imagine 33 million people, again, that's almost the population of all of Canada.
Yes. Yes.
You know, Africa has 54 countries.
For real.
You know, and Ghana is just one of them. You know, people get this, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just from miseducation and not knowing, you know, the history. But Africa is a very diverse continent with many cultures, many languages. Yeah, Ghana just one country, and it's a really big country, but in terms of the size of Africa, it would be small. But our tour is going to mainly consist of, Cape Coast, or the slave dungeons, Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle. We're going to be visiting Cancun Park. These are all, natural habitats, places that we're going to be going to in the Cape Coast region.
Okay.
Right? That's one destination.
Do I look fat in that? Oh, my God. It's true. Oh, my God. My face does look rounder.
Don't do that. Absolutely. Please don't do that. Are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, once again, I want to send a special shout out to Brother Kofi and as well as Brother Andre for sharing their experiences. I also want to send an extra shout out to Back to Africa Tours. Currently, they are on tour. They should be returning back from their first, or I should say, the most recent tour sometime in the new year. I know they do have more trips planned in the 2020 year. You definitely want to go ahead and jump onto their website to find exactly what dates that the tour will be, I guess, open, right? Also, for anybody who has not known, recently the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Ghana has recently stated that the return to Africa, right, has generated close, if not over, $2 billion US.
That's amazing.
Right, which is excellent.
That's
definitely
amazing.
Excellent. So by means, for those who have not taken a trip, who are thinking about taking a trip, remember, Ghana is just one country, right? You don't necessarily have to go to Ghana, but of course, look to go ahead and return back home.
Yay. That's a good picture, then.
Yeah, man. There's more there. The website right there in regards to showing what places they visited. I mean, it's going to be an eye-opening experience for those who have yet to go. This will be their first time going. I know that.
I just need to know where I come from. That's my biggest thing.
Well, most of us as Caribbean, I mean, they tell us that West Africa.
Yeah.
And in between Nigeria and Ghana, of course, right? Because we're closest to the coast.
Yeah.
Right. But
Nigerians see me and say they look Nigerians. Ghanaians see me and say I look Ghanaian.
Hey,
I may be one of the two. I don't know. But they always pick me out as one of the two.
It is what it is, right? I mean, a lot of us don't know.
No, I have no idea.
Right?
None whatsoever, which is very sad.
And that's why we have to commend these brothers, for wanting to go ahead and do this, right?
So let's take it now to back to America, I guess you could say. So if you ask Chris Tucker, Mark Curry, Eddie Murphy, Robert Townsend, Damon Wayans, and any other comedian right now that came out of America, there is one single man who gets no notification.
Actually, you know what?
Very little. Very little.
We'll say with very little.
But he is my elder. I'm so proud to say that this man is my elder. Him and I speak very regularly. Yeah. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. And this is the man coined as the Godfather of comedy, Mr. Michael Williams. And in the short clip we're going to show you, he talks about the very first Black comedy club in America.
Yeah.
Comedy Act Theater. See? Got it. Comedy Act Theater. So again, any of the comedians that you know and love have passed through this man's hands. And not many people know about him.
Well, that's why, it's important that we do shows like this.
Absolutely.
Right? And please look out for his book.
It's coming out.
Yes.
But we'll talk a little bit more about him. Let's run the clip.
For sure.
So near the end of the evening, I noticed this black guy walk in. And that's when I say, wow, about time somebody black came into the show. Now I don't feel alone. But what I noticed was this guy went to the back, to the side where all the comics were. And I said, oh, he must be a comedian. And then eventually he's introduced as the last comic of the night. And I said, yeah, you see, just like white folks, they put the brother on last. and I said, but it is at least about time somebody I can relate to. Well, when this guy got into his act, I realized, wow, what I should probably do is offer him a couple of pills and a glass of water and tell him just go sit in the corner and he won't feel a thing, just end his life for him, because he was not funny at all. Matter of fact, he was worse than everybody. And I'm feeling like, wow, man, you're supposed to be at least representing the race. Now you're making us all look bad. And when he got more and more into his act, I just felt more and more sorry for him, because he just wasn't good at all. Then his last little comedy bit for that evening, I noticed he had grabbed this dark green robe, looked like a choir robe, snatched off somebody's drapes in their house. And he puts that on and he grabs this book, and then he proceeds to mimic like a black Baptist minister. And that's when I said, man, I can relate to that. I grew up in the black church. Man, this would be great. This would be great if it was all black. And bam, that's when the light went on. And I started thinking, what would it be like if this room was full of black people and everybody on stage was all black?
I absolutely love this man.
Wonderful resource.
I absolutely love this.
But more importantly, it's I've heard you guys speak, and I've had a chance to go in and speak to them as well. Friendly, very approachable, very knowledgeable. Just everything that you would expect an elder to be. Yes. And we had so much fun with this show. Mm-hmm. If we had cameras for the behind the scenes,
he's hilarious.
Right, especially when we went on commercial.
Hilarious. So let's give a little bit of an update on him before we go into break.
Please do.
The Comedy Act Planet, formerly known as Comedy Act Theater, was the bedrock for a lot of the African American comedians that you see now. So in 1985, I think we have a picture of him. Yep, there he is. In 1985, Williams began to promote his interest in African American comedians by presenting amateur and professional African American comedians at the Comedy Act Theater in the Crenshaw district of Los Angeles. In a relatively short time, he developed a regular audience of 250 to 400 patrons. To be sure, this was the beginning of a successful venture, which would serve as a catalyst in the careers of numerous minority comedians. He's done some huge things.
And Jamie Foxx in there.
He's done some huge things. So, incorporated in 1986, the Comedy Act Theater was the spawning ground of a wealth of African American talent, as well as a venue for many of the industry's best known African American comedians, and the late Robin Harris, who was routinely the MC there.
Oh, yeah, Robin Harris, he was a trip. For those who remember Baby Kids.
Yeah.
Remember the first house party?
Yes.
Yes, the father.
The father
was
him.
Go outside.
That's him. So he used to work alongside. He was really good friends with Elder Williams.
Big up.
And with the opening of a second Comedy Act Theater in 1987 in Oakland, there was a third in Atlanta, and in 1990 he opened one in Chicago. Mm-hmm. 1992 he opened one in Chicago. So obviously, Elder established himself as the foremost promoter of African American comedians. His comedy stores consistently give African American talent top billing, the first and the only clubs to do so ever. Mm-hmm. This man is beast.
Yeah.
And when his book comes out, I already told him, like, I'm coming, I'm hosting your book signing. He's like, of course, come down. He's in Las Vegas now, so definitely look him up. You can check out the entire interview again in the descriptions below. When we come back, our very last segment, we're going to look at one of my favorite, only because of what it targeted, the discussion. We did a little bit of R. Kelly.
Yes.
That show did really well, actually.
It did. Yeah.
It did really, really well, but it was the topic matter.
Or that, and probably, a lot of people just want to continue to vilify the man.
The man. And I broke it down. Sorry, I was not his enemy. I brought up some points in that video. We're going to see that. And we're also going to talk about one of our newer shows, which you liked.
Yes.
Turning fear into fuel.
Oh, yeah.
And that was our Who Moved Our Cheese and Out of the Maze series. So when we come back, we'll talk about our last two videos. And then, of course, we're going to ask you, if you get a chance to go to our playlist, you can tell us some of the shows that you liked. Leave that in the comments. But we'll talk about that more. We'll see you soon on Here to Help You.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We've been having some fun today.
I hope the viewers out there are having some fun as well.
Guy, like, I'm looking back at these videos and like, yeah, I need to lose some of this.
Don't lose anything, baby. Trust me. I keep mine warm at nighttime, you know. You see me? Oh.
My parents are watching, Dave.
Hi, folks.
Guys, so welcome back. One of our strongest shows. We have had a few. But I think this one got a lot of engagement because of the topic matter.
Yes.
So our show was called Monster Manipulator, The Psychology of R. Kelly.
Right.
And the reason we did this show is we were not doing what everyone else was doing when that video came out, or the documentary came out about him.
Right.
Everyone went into like, crucify him, burn him at the stake, stone him to death. Everyone was so against him. And Dave and I were like, hold on. There's two sides to every story.
Right.
It's, yes, what he's doing isn't right, but what happened to you to make you act like this? So let's take a quick look at this video, and then you guys can give us your thoughts as well.
There's a reason. So my stand, and I'm going to take a stand in this whole situation, is that every single person involved is a victim. And I mean...
That's totally agreed.
Yeah, like every single person in this has gone through some type of trauma. And it doesn't put anyone's trauma over anyone's trauma. What these girls went through was horrible, but what R. Kelly went through was absolutely horrible.
Correct.
Right? So I want to point out a few things before I start delving into the information, which we're going to have to fly through because there's so much.
Don't worry.
We'll the fact that the women that he tended to get involved with were around, especially at first, were 14, 15. He would do 16 sometimes and 17, but that age group from 14 to about 17 was the group that he targeted.
Okay.
So his sister was actually 14 years old at the time that she was molesting him.
So there's a direct association.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The matters of control that people were talking about in this, all of that, again, guys, he was taught this. He didn't come out the womb like...
saying...
At like 14-year-olds. It doesn't happen.
I guess we'll talk about it again. So again, I'm sitting here going off. I should have saved all of that.
Okay.
But
you will channel the same energy.
Yeah, no, you know what I really want? I think people should watch this one again. And I want people to be very mindful of when you cast judgments. It's something that I've been working on in this last decade, and I'm going to continue to work on. Be mindful of how you judge people, because you never know someone's story. We can say what we want about R. Kelly, but unless you've been through what R. Kelly has been through, unless you've gone through some of his experiences, unless you went through the sexual assault that he himself went through, you gotta be mindful of your talk, guy. Like, and I think that was my biggest thing, is showing that was we need to understand his psychology. What happened to him? Why he thinks it's okay to piss on a 14-year-old girl. That's not something that anyone comes out and does. No, there has to be something behind that.
Yeah.
So we talked about it, and it did really well.
Yeah, you know, I love the fact that we highlighted that, the psychology. I also love the fact that, you know, at the end of the day, our people need help.
Our mental health, oh boy.
Right, and for those out there who are denying the help, please take a look into yourself and take the help. Because things like this will happen if it goes unchecked.
And I'm sorry, in our community, childhood sexual assault is huge. We can deny it as much as we want, but it's happened and it is happening. And the repercussions of that are people like R. Kelly and other examples in this world that are not spoken of, but it's happening. It is happening. So good show for you guys to check out.
Yes.
All right, so we have 2 more to go. Your favorite show, one of your favorite shows, Dave.
Yeah, one of the most recent ones, when we did the Move My Cheese. Who got my cheese? Yes?
Who moved my cheese?
There you go. Who moved my cheese? You see, I had it right the first time.
That wasn't right the first time.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. We did the follow-up show.
Yes.
Right. Well, we really focused on hem. Now,
yes.
Simone, I know you can go in and explain, of course, hem and ha. But however, though, hem was simply the one that was reluctant.
Resistance to change. Very resistant.
Until he met Hope.
Hope.
Right.
And Hope helped him change.
There you go.
Because she helped him see that there is life outside of what you think, what your beliefs are, what your reality is. Because we all are stuck in a certain reality because of the way we were raised, what we've been exposed to, right? And change, I'll be the first person to tell you, change is so hard because we believe that our beliefs make us, but they don't. Imagine if you could change your belief and alter your reality. The people think of that like, oh no, that can't happen. That is real. Who moved your cheese? If things aren't working out for you, what are you going to do to change that? You can't depend on the world to do that for you. And Ha was the person who wanted to make the change, and his brethren Hem didn't want to do it. So Ha had to leave Hem. And that's what we were talking about, the fact that sometimes we've got to leave brethren behind. We may not want to, but sometimes we have to dash them away because they're not serving us. And if they want to be where they are, it's okay. Don't hate them. But you're going to have to distance yourself, especially if you want to do bigger things.
There you go. Partnership.
Sorry, brethren. Deuces. Can't be with you. Catch up if you can. All right, so.
Hold on, before you go any further. Let me run the clip, no?
Do we have a clip?
Yeah, we got a clip. Yes, run the clip, my girl.
So, as he ventured, he discovered that everything in the maze had changed. Hem thought about how Ha and himself had built their lives around this cheese, around the maze, right? But the maze had completely changed. So everything, think about it. And think about even people who are trying to make change. When they're trying to make change, they go back into the world. I think about relationships. When people go back into the dating world. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, it's completely different. Yeah. Tinder, swipe, what is this? They're so confused. And it's very scary.
Yes.
It can be, because it's like, I can't do this, right?
Right.
He noticed on his journey, though, as he's going, that there were these little rocks. So this is where the apples come in. They looked good. They smelled good. And he really wanted to take a bite of them. But what do you think happened?
Of course, he didn't take a bite.
Because guess why?
He's stuck in the old belief.
He's stuck in his own belief. So remember, he's not going to try something new because it's not cheese. What if it kills me? What if it hurts me? So all these negative things.
Right.
But these are fears.
Yes.
And there are things that were holding him back from not having sour belly. Just eat it. You don't know.
You mean hungry belly?
Sour belly.
And hungry belly. Yeah, such a wonderful show.
A good show.
One of the things I actually appreciated about this episode, right, is the fact that we can go ahead and actually tie this into African spirituality, right? What I mean by that is this: through the creation stories, but a lot of the actual mythology, you have a male deity, and as well as you have a female deity, or female aspects. And we understand that, of course, the female aspect of the deity, or the female part of the mythology, is that part that puts the pieces together, that brings the pieces together in order for the agency, in this case, the male aspect, to go ahead and make a decision, right? And this produces, of course, the higher self, right? And this is what I appreciate about this. In fact, if it wasn't for Hope as a female entity, right, to put the pieces together and give them that new light.
Hem would still be sitting there with no belly.
Maybe, or simply it would have taken
longer.
There you go, right? And that's what I truly appreciate about this.
Truly, men need us.
We'll never deny that.
Some try to.
Next.
Okay. So, the last show we're going to talk about was one of our fun shows. So, I'm very competitive. Dave isn't as much, but I'm extremely competitive. So we decide to have a history off. What is a history off, you ask?
Please explain.
So, no preaching, polarizing, or convincing. Just the facts on a show that we call Did You Know? And what it was a whole bunch of Black history knowledge that a lot of people did not know. So I'm actually going to drop the video, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. But we had a lot of fun because I killed Dave with our Black history. I killed him. I won that one. I definitely won. But you guys can go ahead. I'll just drop what we have here. Just my one. Go ahead, Salina. boots.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
That was all right.
Not bad.
My turn?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Do this. That's pretty good. Shazam. Did you know that? And it's... Anyways.
Type of neckline.
Did you know? Can we drop this picture, please? I have a picture of Jack Daniels and... yeah, let's put that up there. Okay. Let's keep that picture there for a second. So, Jack Daniels whiskey was created by an enslaved black man named Nearest Green. Yeah, man, I'm coming with it. He taught Jack Daniels how to make it.
Okay.
And the brand has made millions since then. And let me tell you what the strength of this information is, guys. I always say that information is hidden in plain sight.
Yes.
This is right off of the Jack Daniels website. All right? So let's talk about it for a minute.
See, Dave? You see why you're laughing, Dave? Because you lost. Dave's laughing because he knew he was beat. Because I came with the Jack Daniels information. I came with it, and you had nothing to respond. Mind you, that's only a little clip, so if you to see the rest, you got to click on.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. You got to click on the link below to see the rest of the show. Any final words? This is our last show of the year, Rankin.
Wow. You know, I can't believe that, right? Already. The year's already done.
We're done.
You know, just to think that when we started off, you know, a few years back doing the radio and having the video come in on it and to see where we are right now.
Dave didn't want to talk.
I still don't. But, you know,
or put together a script.
I still don't.
Actually, Celine, you'd be proud of him. This week, he actually I had to explain in detail what to do, but he actually did it properly. I was so proud of him.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So you've led the horse to water?
Yes.
Right.
Tim Hortons story time.
There you go. There you go.
Everybody, thank you for being a part of a family. For those who did support us and even for those who didn't support us, we thank you too because you make us work even harder.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Enjoy the rest of this year.
Be safe, whatever it is that you're doing. Please be safe. Use your better judgment. Safe. You know, and onward and upward to a prosperous.
For everybody.
2020.
2020. Better vision, keener vision. You guys have a wonderful New Year's. See you guys soon.
Peace and love, family.
Bye.